Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome. Let me make it public. I keep telling you guys, you can't miss the show, but tonight, man, I got me a superstar. I'm so excited. Let me change the privacy from private now, it's public. People are going to start coming in. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui, and some people call me Little Boy. That's Luku Boy if you're from the Commonwealth of Dominica. Whitey Kubuli, tall is her body. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. I am a Jean Lapointe, Point Michel, Kamem. Kamem only means, you know what I'm saying in Creole, you know what I'm saying. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you beautiful people doing, man? Tonight, I got a special guest. I can't do too much preliminaries, to do all of that stuff. But what we're going to do is, you know what? I got to do a little preliminaries. Give me 2 minutes, just do a little preliminaries. Well, they just had the World Creole Music Festival in the Commonwealth of Dominica last weekend, right? And some of you all were down there. Some of you all were watching tonight. Welcome to the show. You guys were down there shaking your pampalam. I haven't done Creole Fest since 2004. I don't do it anymore because I don't actually I don't party. I don't go to clubs anymore. But if I was passing by and I heard the music, I might have shake a little bit. But I'll tell you what, you know what? Let's do this. Let's play a little of this for you guys, for all you Zouk heads, right? As you come into the show, it's Creole season in the Commonwealth of Dominica. On the 3rd of November, Dominica will be 45 years old. I left before Dominica was independent, but I'm a Dominican at heart, even if I live in the continental United States. You ready, folks? Here we go. A little Kasam. Woo! Tuesdays with Terrence. Ow! Sukwe! Pas de problème. Creole. Aïe.
Sous-placé, ça médicament Monique. Sous-placé, ça médicament Monique.
All right, stop it. For the people who don't know what it is, the music, the Zouk music is the only medicine you need. That's what the song says. And let me tell you something. Music is universal. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from where my guest is in that area, you might like Chuck Brown, You're like, what kind of music is Chuck Brown? I ain't telling you guys. If you don't know who Chuck Brown is, you don't need to know what kind of music that is, all right? Out of DC area. But the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if it's R&B. It doesn't matter who it is. But tonight, I have a very special guest. You guys saw the flyers. You saw the pictures. She's beautiful. She's my business partner. She's gorgeous. And guess what? Let me tell you a little story. I met her, Bobby, like 8 years ago. But she doesn't remember I met her. I was at a legacy meeting, and she was there. And our guest, Crystal Collinsworth, last week, Crystal, the Pistol Hollingsworth, Britain, was on there as well. And I saw her, but, she didn't talk to me because, I don't know, I wasn't cool or whatever. But guess what? Right now, she said to me at our fourth quarter, H, you got to take a picture with me, just like Crystal said. And I was so happy. I hugged her tight, and we took a picture. My special guest, she's an awesome woman. You guys are going to get to see her in a minute. But you know what? Let's play our theme song to start the show just before I bring her on. And you guys know you don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have a million to be on my show. But tonight, I have a superstar. Let me get my volume up first, so we can get it on, get my superstar on. Welcome to those of you. I'm going to give you a shout out in a minute, but let's go. Mrs. Maynard Thomas Bardui Thomas, she sang that. She was my guest earlier this month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer survivor. You don't have to be a star to be on my show, but I got a superstar tonight. Tuesday with Terrence.
Family, come as you are with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected or hurt? To me, you're worth much more than you put in.
I don't need no superstars, but I got one
No,
tonight.
I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Boom! The song says you don't have to be a star. You don't have to have a million to be on my show. But tonight I got a superstar. I am so excited. Folks, let me cue it up. My business partner is coming tonight. Finally, she makes me feel like I'm the you know what when we are at our meetings. I finally took a picture with her. I think I took a picture with her last year, but I never posted it. And guess what? This year she said to me, H, take a picture with me. And you all who know me know I'm vain. I'm vain. I'm not conceited, but I love it when my business partner said, H, take a picture with me, male or female. But tonight, with any further ado, you can see her name posting at the bottom. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Introducing for the first time on Tuesdays with Terrence. Let me unmute her for a moment as I bring her on. Let me unmute her as I bring her on. Let me unmute her as I bring her on. But guess what, folks? I think my sunshine has come. I don't know. Let me see. Can I find it? Has my sunshine come? Let me check. 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 Monique Bidleman. Oh my gosh. She's on Tuesdays with Terrence. Isn't she beautiful? Look at her. Oh my gosh. My business partner, Mrs. Monique Bidleman. No more rain on the show. Yes, finally, I got her. Oh, she hurt my feelings a long time ago, but finally she's back on the show. She came on the show. Yes.
Broken spirit, lost and confused.
Scared,
used and abused.
Oh, she's here. My sunshine has come. You know what? You know what? So nice. I gotta do it again. There she goes. Oh, Monique Bidleman. Welcome, partner. Oh my gosh. There she is. There she is. Monique Tuesdays with Terrence. My sunshine has come. Oh. No more clouds. No more rains. Oh, Monique. How you doing, partner? How you doing? I could do this all night. How you doing? Can we hear you? I got you muted. Let me unmute you. Sorry about that. How are you doing, partner?
H, I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I am fantabulous. Finally, you on Tuesdays with Terrence.
I am so honored to be here.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for coming on, because I tried to get you earlier this month, but you were traveling. You were in Morocco. You had a great time.
I was.
Family and everybody. This is Mrs. Monique Bidleman. And the couple dudes who hit me up and asked me if she's single, she's married. Stop it. This is a financial show. We're not dating. We're not putting anybody up. We just giving good, non-traditional financial advice. Monique, how you doing?
I am doing awesome. Just glad to be here, H. I'm glad to be here.
You know what? Go ahead.
I love it. I love you and I love it.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. You know, Monique, you don't have to tell us your actual address, but what part of the country are you on? I'm going to give you about 2 to 3 minutes to tell us about you, your family, what you do, and so forth. And then I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. I'm going to give you a solo screen. Tell the people a little bit about you tonight, and then we'll give a shout out to the people who are watching. Go ahead, Monique. All yours.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am actually located in the DMV area.
All right.
I am right outside of DC in Maryland. I have been here since 1991 when I graduated from Howard University in 1995. So
Nice to see you.
I I consider this home now. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But again, when I graduated from high school, I came down here, and this has been home ever since. I'm married. I've been married for 23 wonderful years. I have 2 children who are both in college right now. Lord have mercy.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
me in your prayers. But we are here in the DMV. I do this financial services part-time, actually, because I also work for the former Secretary of Labor that was under President Clinton. So I work for her. I've been working for her since 2003. And I took this on part-time in 2003 as well. And since then, we have been changing lives, as you know, H, in the financial services arena. So we're doing well. Me, Steve, Jalen, Justin, that's my family. They're my biggest supporters. And I'm just, again, so honored to be here with you, H. Thank you so much.
Oh, man, Monique, I'm so happy that you're here. You're in the DMV. Our corporate headquarters is in the DMV in Atlanta, Maryland. I'm actually going to be there for the leadership meeting this week with the other leaders. So I'm really excited. ACA, American Classic Agency, the company that cares, the company
Yes.
that cares.
Yes.
Monique, I'm so glad that you're here. Let's give a shout out to some of the people who are watching. I see some people on here already. I want to say welcome to our business partner, Peach Goodwill, who's watching in Petersburg, Virginia. Esther Duran Casimir, all the way in the St. Martin on the Dutch side, I believe you are. Atlin Pittman on the Dutch side in St. Martin. Connie Roberts in the Commonwealth of Dominica in the Caribbean. Miss Delphina LeBlanc all the way in Ottawa, Canada. Robin Martin in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Elizabeth Bardui, my beautiful cousin in Brooklyn, New York. And there's a lot of other people watching. Monica Love, our business partner in Augusta, Georgia. Welcome. Marcella Jean-Louise in Lawrenceville, Georgia, my beautiful sister-in-law. Who else? Beth Amato, my esteemed client in Palm Coast, Florida. How you doing? And there's so many others watching. I might not be able to see all of you guys at the moment, but my special guest is Mrs. Monique Bidleman. She just told you a little bit about us. Monique, I'm wearing my pink. And, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October. 2 days, some people are trick-or-treating, Halloweening. I got my Starburst candy right here. I don't trick-or-treat, but I eat the candy.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I had an appointment the other day with a client, and we were in a restaurant, and I said to her, she says, so what exactly did you do again? And before I told her what I did, I said to her, this is October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Have you had your mammogram? And she said, yes, I have. So, Monique, have you had your mammogram this year so far?
H, I have. I don't play around with that. That's an annual thing for me. It's on my calendar right around my birthday. I don't play around with that. So, yes, I have had my mammogram. And thank you for asking that question.
And you're welcome. And the fellas, breast cancer, men get that too. I know one elder at my church back in Charlotte, back in 2013, he had breast cancer as well. But that's the only person I ever knew. But men, you got to get your colonoscopies. You got to get your prostate checked. We have to go see doctors annually, at least annually.
Yeah.
So, Monique, before we get into income protection, debt elimination, legacy creation, do you know anyone that's dear to you? I know Crystal, who's your good buddy. She was on last week.
Yeah.
She gave us a story about one of her clients that was tragic. All right.
Yeah.
The client ended up dying. But we're in an industry where we do with what we call love insurance.
That's
where
right.
living benefits. Do you know anyone who may have had a critical illness, or anyone close to you that you want to share a story at all?
Yeah, and this is so emotional for me. But
Take your time. Take your time.
my dad back in 2015 was actually diagnosed with cancer, with rectal cancer. And he did end up passing away in 2017. But let me tell you, the blessing that um, the policy that he had in force did for us as a family. He decided to go the more holistic route,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he decided to do big doses of vitamin C infusions and things like that. And so for some that don't know what those are, they are extremely expensive. And he was doing this on a weekly basis. Um, what happened was that, he was so adamant about making sure that his assets were protected. He wanted to make sure that everything he had was left to my mother. And because we had this policy in force, right, we were able to tap into some money outside of the assets that he had set aside for my mother in order to fund these vitamin C infusions. When I
Wow.
tell you that was such a blessing, I can't even imagine. That actually prolonged his life. Because he really only had about a year left to live. He ended up living until October of 2017. So when I tell you that these policies are miracles in the making, I am not kidding you. So
It's so,
that was my emotional story.
it's so funny you said that, because last week Crystal was saying, she don't understand why a dude's trying to talk to a girl and get married, and he doesn't have living benefits, because that's one of the, and even for women out there who are single, or men too, and you're all talking to somebody and you like them and you think they're the most beautiful thing since sliced bread, ask them, who do you have for your living benefits? I want to say a special hello to the Vice President of Brand Marketing and National Life Group, Miss Darlene Flagg in the H-Town. How you doing, Darlene? Good to see you tonight. Darlene was a guest on Tuesdays with Terrence back in March, and next March she's going to be back on there if I have to beg her. Oh, well, guess who's watching? Mr. Stewart, our president. Mr. Anthony Stewart is watching tonight, and a bunch of other people is watching. And tell us a little bit about Mr. Stewart and what kind of influence he's had on you, Monique, and we'll get back to the show in a moment. Mr.
Oh
Anthony
man, I could go on and on and on about Mr. Stewart now. Me and Mr. Stewart been together since before I got licensed, before 2003. I think I met him in 2001 at a seminar he was giving in the library, and we've been good buddies ever since. But when I tell you, this man has changed my life. He has really been my mentor. His business acumen is just awesome. And H, I know you can attest to that.
Definitely.
But he's been such a blessing in my life, getting me into this business, and just learning under his tutelage has been remarkable. I can't say enough about him, his leadership, his guidance, just the great person that he is. I'm just so happy and so excited to be in business with him. And I'm so glad he's listening in tonight. Who can say that the president was listening in?
Whenever he jumps in, him and Mr. Aza, I get excited. I get a little nervous. I'm never nervous. But I want to say this about him. We were at the fourth quarter kickoff, and one of my agents was up there as well, Miss Peach Goodwill, and he talked to her. And even up last year, he talked to her, and she was like, she felt good. And Mrs. Stewart, Miss Goodwill may have some good news, and I hope I can give you that good news by Thursday for our leadership meeting about a case that she's working on. She was supposed to do it today, but she was so busy at work, she couldn't do it. I told her I would have done it for her, and she would have got all of it. But I'm so proud of her. It's a big one for her, a biggest. So I'm really excited. So Mr. Stewart, thank you for that, and for talking to her and making her feel important. And that's what he does. He makes you feel like you are the big shot when you walk in the room. And he texts me sometimes when I ain't doing what I'm supposed to. H, I'm counting on you. Give us
he'll
a good
call you
positive
out.
reinforcement. The company that cares, right? Mr.
Yes.
Stewart. So we want to thank you for that. So Monique, we don't have much time because we got to get you off by 9:15, and I'll finish the last 15 minutes by myself. And I want to thank you again for coming on. But a lot of people talk about, I got insurance on my job, I got it on my job, and they don't understand, because that young lady the other day asked me, what is income protection? And after this, she's sleeping because she has to work tonight. I'm going to send her the show so she can see you and when you talk. So especially when you're talking to this person, and their name is Karen, by the way,
Okay.
I want you to, address her and address the masses and watch all the people who are watching. And a lot of people watching. Some of you guys, I'll give you a shout out a little later. Miss Atlin Pittman, all the way in St. Martin. Lena Nehemiah, all the way in Minnesota. It's snowing out there. Keep it out there, Lena. Can't wait to see you. Kurt Sarant is watching all the way in the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Miss Pauline Flowers in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. The Ohio family's watching, and there's people watching from all over. Some of you, I can't see you. There's a gentleman who's watching. He might be watching on my YouTube channel. I have an appointment with him tonight with one of our agents who scheduled the appointment after the show. So we're going to see him. So I don't want to call his name out, but I want to tell him if he's watching. I may call his name out and tell him welcome for watching. If he says hello in the chat, I'll try to acknowledge him. But Monique, tell the people, and also tell Karen why living benefits is paramount. They never heard about living benefits. They're like, what's that? Can you tell people, even though you got something on the job, why you need living benefits? Income protection. Solo screen.
Absolutely. And I tell people this all the time. You have something on the job, but it does not include living benefits, right? And even that something on the job, 9 times out of 10, it's going to go away when you leave that job. So living benefits, it's where it's at. I'm telling you, I have a policy specifically just for the living benefits.
Me too.
What that means, you do too, right? But what that means is that disability doesn't discriminate. Being terminally ill doesn't discriminate. You need this money to be able to tap into tax-free and penalty-free if you were to become terminally ill, chronically ill, critically ill. How wonderful would it be to have $100,000, right? If you are diagnosed with cancer, right? We know so many people, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We know so many people that have been diagnosed with cancer that are still living.
That's
right? They call it the life insurance that you don't have to die to use.
Preach.
So these are benefits that you can tap into while you're still living for whatever reason you need it for, right? You may not be able to work. That doesn't mean that the mortgage company doesn't want their mortgage payment. That doesn't mean that your car note people don't want their car loan payment. You still got to make those payments, right? So how great would that be if you were able to tap into thousands of dollars potentially to be able to use while you're going through this journey? We need it. Everyone needs a policy specifically for long term, right? Specifically for these living benefits. There's no excuse. And now that you know this, right, it's our responsibility, right? Us as agents, right?
Exactly.
To be able to hold you to that. Everyone needs a policy like this.
So tell Karen why she, look in the camera and tell Karen why she needs to get it.
Karen?
Yes.
Karen, are you listening? Are you listening, Karen? You need this policy. You just never know when you might fall sick. You never know. And Karen, when you leave that job, whether it be you retiring from it, whether it be you're moving on from it, that life insurance policy is 9 times out of 10 going to go away, right? When you have something outside of your job, that is in place forever, along with these living benefits. It's so powerful. Karen, listen up.
I love it.
Listen up. Get this policy, Karen. Get this policy. You will not be sorry.
I'll follow up with her. But the important thing I will say, hopefully, he's watching. I want to give a shout out to Mr. James Henry. He might be watching on my YouTube channel, Bardui Financial Services on YouTube. You know, we're streaming on 5 platforms tonight. My Havis Bardui, which is my Facebook, Bardui Financial Services, my Facebook financial one. On X, formerly Twitter, HTB964. It's streaming there. It's streaming on LinkedIn. Terrence Bardui, Havis Bardui on LinkedIn, and also on YouTube at Bardui Financial Services. We're streaming on 5 platforms. There's about 15 more platforms I can stream on, but I'm not on those platforms and I don't have the following, so I don't do it. But it's really important that you guys listen to what Monique is saying tonight. Mrs. Bidleman is telling you guys, it doesn't matter if you're in a job. And it's so funny. Karen was telling me, I used to say, you never looked happy in your job. And she said, I wasn't happy. And I was contemplating quitting. And I had said to her, if you had quit, and something happened, what would have happened? And now, so I'm going to educate her. And she doesn't know I did this because I just did it on my own fruition here. But, you just talked about income protection. Today I was on a Your Family Bank seminar, and I saw the national debt is at 33 plus trillion dollars. Debt, I'm not talking about debt consolidation, Monique. I'm talking about debt elimination. You say you went to HBCU. There's a lot of kids who go to HBCUs. My last kid went to 2 years of college and he's like, oh, you want to be a rapper? Now we're trying to get him back into school. So we're going to have to take loans and different things. But my point is, people graduate from school and people have mortgages, a whole bunch of different things. Mr. Stewart did a live a couple of weeks ago and he talked about the average American family just in credit cards will only have between $8,000 to $10,000 in credit card debt. We're not talking about mortgage, car, student loans. We're not talking about equity line of credits, boat loans, bike loans, butt loans. People take loans for anything, right? But my point is debt elimination. What would you say to the masses tonight about eliminating debt so that they can live a more stressful life?
Absolutely. Debt is very powerful, very powerful. I was actually just talking to Mr. Stewart before this, and he had read something that car loans are far behind with customers right now. People are backed up on their car loans now. So the debt piece of it is a problem, right? And it's a problem because of the interest rate.
Right.
That's the problem. So the key is to be able to at least get that interest rate lowered, right? The reason why a lot of people can't save, the reason why a lot of people can't retire is because of what? It's because of debt.
Yes, debt.
So if we eliminate that debt, right, what that means is now people can save more, people can retire early or retire when they want to. It frees up money for us to do other things, right? It's hindering us. And we've got to be able to get into something where we can get that debt eliminated. And again, it's not reconsolidating debt, just like you said. We're not refinancing debt, right? It's complete. We're eliminating debt within 9 years or less, including your mortgage.
Mercy.
Can we say that again?
Say it again, please.
We are eliminating debt within 9 years or less, including your mortgage.
Can you say that for the people in the balcony? Say it for the people on the balcony, please.
Yeah, for the people on the balcony, we are eliminating debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage.
Wow.
If you can't get behind that, what? Come on now. So credit card debt, student loan debt. I know Howard grads that went and got their PhDs and they have their masters. They have $400,000 and $500,000 worth of student loan debt. They would never pay that debt off in their lifetime. In their lifetime, had it not been for us on this crusade being able to eliminate debt. That's huge. And people don't realize that really is what's hindering you from being able to move forward. That's really what is burdening you and stressing you out is debt.
It's so funny you said that. My best friend, he's an educator, and he went to HBCU like you, Alabama A&M. Alumni and in Huntsville, Alabama.
Right.
And he's been an educator for over 25 years, I think. He still has student loan debt.
I believe it.
The funny thing about it is not funny, hilarious, but funny, peculiar is that I didn't talk to him about what I do. He knew what I did, but I never talked to him about debt elimination. And 2 years ago, he suffered a stroke.
Oh.
He's coming along,
yeah.
But he suffered a stroke. And he said, well, if you were still living down there, I wouldn't have suffered a stroke because you would have get me to exercise and play basketball and walk. And when he suffered that stroke, he was too embarrassed to call me.
Oh my
Because you know
goodness.
why? Because I was going to yell at him, and
Yeah.
I would have, which is wrong. And his dad
Yeah.
would be done the same. So he didn't tell us until after the fact. And now I'm very more careful with my words,
Yeah.
So when he calls me for advice or asks me different things, I'm a little more understanding. But
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like my best friend or like my baby sister. I just told you what triple negative breast cancer, and yeah, they have life insurance, but they didn't have living benefits. My eldest sister in the Bronx, New York, had breast cancer survivor about 12 years ago. Didn't have
Hmm.
living benefits. So it's hit home, and
Yeah.
that's why we're on this crusade. And when you're talking about debt, Beth Amato says yes, because she does have a debt elimination program with us, my
Good.
client. I want to
Good.
say welcome
Love it.
to Lourdes Amado Montiel. How you doing, sister? Good to see you up there. And Thomas Bravinia, welcome. Good to see you. And Mr. Stewart says, preach, preacher, because you're preaching to those in the balcony and those in the back about debt. We're not talking about consolidating debt. And we're talking about eliminating it so you can no longer have it. Because debt, let me tell you something. One of the number one causes of bankruptcy in the United States is medical, because you have a catastrophic illness and you have no money, so you have debt. Some people think if a couple have a fight, they can work it out. But if you have a spouse, a male or female, who's not good with money and is doing, it can affect marriages and relationships as well. So people need to understand debt is a cancer and it can't be eliminated with people like Monique. And if you're in the DMV, you need to be calling. I said, she's licensed more than the DMV. You need to be
Yeah.
calling her. And she's not on Facebook, but we'll find out by
Nope.
the end of the day if she's on any social media platform before she
Yeah.
leaves, and you can follow her there. But the thing is, she's telling you that debt elimination, we can do this, especially for our brothers and sisters in our HBCUs who graduate and they have this amount in debt, and you're looking for the federal government to eliminate it for you. It's not guaranteed.
Nope.
Let's eliminate debt while you also pay yourself. And some of my clients who are watching tonight are on this, and they're applauding what you're saying. So, Monique, you talked a little bit about your dad,
Yeah.
with his cancer situation and living benefit.
Hmm.
When you
Yeah.
talked about income protection, people talking about I got it on the job. On the job, you can get furloughed, downsized, fired, let go, quit. A whole bunch of stuff can happen on the job. You talked about that. Then you just pontificated on debt elimination. You just educated the people. You dropped dimes on them and gems. Now, in our communities, we service everybody, right? But people that look like me and you, our communities, people of color, I don't care if you're Hispanic, Cape Verdean, Portuguese, African American, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Haitian. I don't care if you're Native American. I don't care what Asian, East Asian, Pakistani, India. I don't care where you're from, Iran, Iraq, Solomon Islands. All I'm saying to you is people of color need to start thinking about, not need to, they need to immediately doing what we call legacy creation. Monique, I personally believe that every African American should have at least $2 million worth of protection.
Yep.
Minimum. Now, we're not saying everybody can afford that. That's what we have. I know somebody who had that 2 million and they got rid of it, and because they didn't see the value. And when ACA contacted me, I said, give them to somebody else. I don't want to deal with those people. And that was family too. But what would you say to the masses that, we don't have much time left with you, we have a good 15 minutes left with you, and then I'll rush out the last 15 by myself. But Monique, legacy creation.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell people, but especially talk to people who are single, because single people think they don't need to. It's okay. It's a family show. Don't worry about the dog. It's okay. It's a family show. Don't worry about it. What would you say to people, married, single, I don't know, divorced, widowed, young people, old people, people of color, Caucasians, about legacy creation?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, H, because, and you said 2 million, and it might sound like a lot to a lot of people, but to be honest, if you're living, right, and you own your own home and you have a family, that's pretty much the number that you need to be working towards. right?
Amen.
2 million, you might can't get 2 million in one night or whatever, but it's a work towards number. And what that means is, there are policies out there now that is not just about dying.
That's
It
right.
really isn't. It's about what it can do while it's still living, what it can do for your family. It's about transferring wealth. It's about protecting assets. It's not just the way life insurance used to be years ago. And I think sometimes our communities, there's a stigma, right, around life insurance, and that, oh, it's only going to benefit someone when I die. Absolutely not. It's way more than that. It's way more than that. We're talking about living benefits. We're talking about even supplemental retirement income. We're talking about the death benefit. We're talking about eliminating debt with life insurance. The wealthy have been doing this for years.
That's right.
This is how they transfer wealth to their families, is buying millions of dollars of protection, right? Building up that cash. When they pass away, it's passed on to their heirs.
That's right.
Let's just be honest. A lot of people don't get rich because they've owned their own businesses or they grew within their own corporation. A lot of people become rich because of life insurance.
Say that again.
A lot of people become rich because of life insurance.
That's right.
Right? Because we're looking to pass on a legacy. And the way to do that is through life insurance. The tax benefits that are associated with these policies are tremendous. They're the best in the business. There's nowhere else that you can get the benefits that you get through life insurance. There's nowhere else. I'll go toe to toe with any other financial vehicle out there. There's nothing more beneficial than life insurance. And we've got to get that stigma out of our head, especially us as a community, right? If I see one more GoFundMe, if I see one more GoFundMe because somebody has passed away or has become incapacitated, I'm going to go off.
Mr. Stewart buried that earlier this year. People don't listen. And I'll tell you, this is so funny you said that, right? Because one of our former colleagues went to see someone in D.C. and she was talking to a gentleman.
Mhm.
And he said, I ain't leaving my family $2 million. It's too much money for them. And it hurt my heart because it was people who look like me and you. And the funny thing is, and the issue was not affordability.
Yeah.
It's because the mindset. And that's why I do Tuesdays with Terrence. And people think I'm doing this because, you know what, I'm trying to educate you because there's people who are doing it. And there's people who contacted me. Some of you all have been watching for 3 years, going on 4 years on February 4th, and you still haven't made a decision. It's okay because you know what? All I can, like Monique said, like I saw a GoFundMe last year. Some people tell me, someone I know personally, and they sent me the GoFundMe and the Fish Fry they were having and the bake sale. I gave it a thumbs up. Up to now, I haven't contributed because they know what I do. And let me tell you something. It's different. There's people watching in different places. Yeah. Some countries, like in Dominica, where they don't have living benefits. You know, something happens. I may have to help a family member or whatever, or a friend. But the thing about it is, there is no reason in the continental United States. We had a training yesterday with Bob Siegel, and he was talking about, we can insure and protect undocumented people without a green card in the United States. I have a client like that. The point I'm trying to say to you guys is simply this. You all do not listen to me. That's why I brought up. She's not just a pretty face. She's an educated woman. She's beautiful and educated. So you all can listen to her because you all don't like me because I yell and scream at you all. You're all sweet. She's talking to y'all. She's telling you again that legacy creation is paramount. And that's how Alina Nehemiah, who's watching tonight, said this. She said, you may have not been born a millionaire, but you can be the first in your family to start the trend.
That's right.
And teach it to your kids and your children's children. Because what does the Bible say in Proverbs? A good man.
That's right.
We ain't talking about the bums and people who don't have a job. You can don't have a job and still be a good man, but get a job. Then when you get a job, we can talk. But a good man lives an inheritance for his children's children. And the great Billie Holiday blues singer sang this song. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who has his own. And
Amen.
that's why we do what we do, Monique.
Yes.
We
Yes.
educate people. So, Monique, you
Yes.
got about 6 minutes. I'm
Okay.
going to give you a solo screen. All
Okay.
right. You don't have to take the whole 6 minutes. You can take 3 to 4 to 5, and then we'll run you out. And then I'll stay for another 15 minutes and talk to the people.
Okay.
You guys saw how she stood outside on that grass with her hands, and she's looking like a confident. She can do that because she's protected, and her family is. And
Yeah.
you saw me in the picture, me showing off, profiling. I can do that because I'm protected. I'm
Yeah.
not saying some of you are not. Delphina LeBlanc's watching all the way in Canada. She called her advisor, and he was concerned. Who you talking to? Who you talking to? She says, I've been watching Tuesdays with Terrence, and I want to up my stuff. I can't help her in Canada. And she always says, if she lived in the U.S., she'd be my client.
Wow.
Mrs. Stewart, maybe we should open a branch in Toronto or Ottawa. That's a joke. But seriously, folks, we can only help you in the continental United States. But
Right.
Monique, you talked about critical illness. You talked about income protection. You talk about debt elimination. You talk about your dad. You talk about legacy creation. Just before you leave the people tonight, I want you to passionately, I don't care if you put your glasses on, you take it off. I don't care what you do. I'm going to give you between 3 to 5 minutes to talk to the people about what you do and what I do and why we're business partners and why we're on a crusade to help middle American families. Because what does our mission statement reads? We are here to serve as what? Agents of change for families in helping them to protect income, eliminate debt, and create financial legacies. Monique, talk to the people. You got 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes. And I love that word crusade, because that truly is what it is. We're on a crusade, and we'll continue to be on a crusade until we touch as many people as we can. What we do is nothing to play around with. I think it's the most important thing in life that we can do. When someone passes away, there is nothing worse than not only grieving that loved one, but now you have to think about how you're going to bury them. You got to think about how you're going to settle their estate, how you're going to pay the bills, how you're going to live if they were providing income to a family member or whatever the case may be. It's bad enough having to grieve, but then
Right.
you're grieving over finances as well. That's what we're trying to prevent. And in addition to that, what if we become sick and we don't die, right? We don't die. Then what? Then what are we going to do? How are we going to sustain? How are we going to maintain the same type of lifestyle that we've grown accustomed to? Living benefits. Then guess what? What if we don't have enough money in our retirement tax qualified plans at work? What if we don't? Because now, of course, everything's going to be taxed. And it could be taxed at 30, 40, 50%. We don't know what the tax bracket is going to be when it comes time for retirement. So you might have $1 million portfolio. Do you think that's $1 million?
Preach.
You got to, we haven't paid Uncle Sam yet. So that $1 million could easily become $500,000. But what if you had some supplemental retirement income within your life insurance policy that's completely tax-free for you to access? How about that? So we're getting our whole entire financial house in order with one policy. With one policy, we're doing life insurance. That's the foundation, you all. That's the foundation. Your retirement is not your foundation. Your life insurance is your foundation. We got to make sure we have an emergency, a savings fund. What if your roof caves in? We don't want to have to go and borrow money from our retirement plan. You got to have 6 to 9 months worth of living expenses in a liquid account.
Preach.
Then let's talk about retirement, right? Specifically a tax-free retirement. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that the plans, the 401ks, the thrift savings plans, I'm glad they're there, because if they weren't there, no one would save at all.
That's right.
But you contribute up to the match. If the company's matching, you contribute up to the match. Anything over that, put it into a life insurance policy, because that cash is going to accumulate. You're going to be able to access that cash completely tax-free. And then lastly, getting your financial house in order. Long-term care, critical illness, right? That is huge. If you go out and try to get a long-term care policy, unless you're in your 20s, right? Because most of the time we're not thinking of long-term care in our 20s and 30s. We don't start thinking of it until we're in our 50s and 60s. And at that point, you can no longer afford it. Trust me.
Preach.
Right? But how about having those benefits within your life insurance policy? So you have gotten your entire financial house in order with one policy. And guess what we're also tackling? Inflation and taxes. How powerful is that? It's keeping up with the rate of inflation, because trust me, if you're putting your money into a savings account, a money market account, anything like that, I heard today that a lot of folks are getting 0% return on their money in bank accounts. Zero. You got to keep up with the rate of inflation, or else you're losing your purchasing power. Put it into a life insurance policy where you can get that guaranteed income keeping up with inflation. And then taxes. Remember, you're paying your premiums after taxes. So when it comes time now, if you die, you pass away, the money gets transferred to your family, usually completely tax-free, as well as the money that you want to take a loan out on, or the money you want to access is also completely tax-free. There is nothing better. There is nothing better than a cash value policy that can solve all of those problems. And if you don't have one, you are missing the boat.
It's funny you said it, because the cash value king is watching. He just came on, Mr. Douglas Anthony Eze, a chief marketing officer and co-owner of American Classic Agency. And so he came on just when you said cash value. I don't know if his ears was ringing. Welcome, Mr. Douglas Anthony Eze, and welcome Valda Marie Peltier Breedy. All of you who are watching, some of you I didn't see your names. You didn't put hello. You didn't say something. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My special guest. Her 45 minutes has come and gone. So you may have to go back if you came in late and watch it on demand. You can watch it on my LinkedIn page. You can watch it on my X page, formerly Twitter, HCB964. You can watch it Bardui Financial Services on YouTube. You can watch it on LinkedIn, H. Terrence Bardui. You can watch it on Havens Bardui, on Facebook, and Bardui Financial Services, my business page. But Monique just told you need income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. And anything else is ludicrous. That's what she said. And she told you her personal story about her dad with critical illness. Yes. And there's so many other stories we could have told you tonight. But she came on tonight just to spend time with her boy, Mr. H. Terrence Bardui, to inform, educate, to teach, to pontificate, to teach you guys the virtues of what we do. Let me explain. Some people said the other day when we were up at the build, someone said, some people look at us, I think it was Kimberly who said it, some people look at us as used car salesmen and life insurance people. Man, we are creating, what used car salesmen creating $1 million legacies? What they're doing is giving you lemons. Right. We are creating multi-million. And you said earlier, I said 2 million, you agreed. If you're making 100 grand a year, 100 grand times 10 years is $1 million. 20 years is $2 billion. So that means you're making 100 grand and you got out of college with a master's of 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, you need 4 million or more.
That's right.
But like you said, it's not the amount or the cost. You can build on it. So Monique, your time has come and gone.
Yes.
And people were saying, I like this lady. I want to follow her. But you're not on Facebook. Are you on any social media platform at all?
I am on Instagram.
Oh, you are? Let me write that down.
Listen now, though. I ain't big on it. But I do have an account.
So what is it? So people can follow you?
It's at Bidleman and Associates. And then, of course, my website is bidlemanandassociates.com. So anyone can always hit me up there as well.
Bidlemanandassociates.com. That's where you'll need to go. Bidlemanandassociates.com. I'll put it in the chat when we're done. Someone can put it in the chat. Bidlemanandassociates.com. But Monique, I am so glad finally that you came to Tuesdays with Terrence. You know, I want to book you for October next year because you're so busy and so important, so that way, if you're in town, you got to come back.
Absolutely.
I've been like begging and, trying to cajole and all those things for you. And I enjoy your energy. I enjoy your pizzazz, but most importantly, I enjoy how you protect families. Thank you. That is an asset to everyone that you see. I want to thank you so much tonight for coming on Tuesdays with Terrence. You guys heard what she said. She said income protection, debt elimination, legacy creation. Most people became wealthy through life insurance. Even the wealthy, like the Rockefellers, even wealthy people like Warren Buffett, even your banks are doing cash value life insurance. It's called BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. And the cash value king is on there. He didn't make any comments in there. I wish he made a comment, but Mr. Stewart knows it. You know it. All of our colleagues who are watching tonight, Pauline and a whole bunch, Peach Goodwill, a whole bunch of other ones, they know. But
right.
the masses don't know. So
That's
I want
right.
to thank you, partner, for coming
Thank
on tonight. And we will get you again another time for income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. My sunshine has come and it now has to leave. I want
Thank
to
you so much, H. Thank you so much. I had a blast.
have
Have a good one. Bye
a
bye.
good night, folks.
Okay.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you so much. Folks, I just want you guys to know Monique had to leave. But we want to thank her so much for coming on the show tonight. I have a client in 10 minutes, but I'm going to give you 10 more minutes, folks. 10 more minutes of my time. All right. Listen to me. She specifically told you guys what we do is the number one way to create wealth. She also told you that, okay, you have a 401k, but you still, I saw Camilla Barker made a post today. You can save outside of 401k. And she's right. You all do not understand the value of cash value life insurance. We use that to eliminate debt. That's why every Tuesdays with Terrence, that means you know what I'm saying, is basically educating you on this. This podcast is on every week. And I bring my business partners sometimes. I bring different kinds. Actually, next week I have an attorney on. She'll be talking about, credits and immigration. I'll put a post about her. You'll see her. Her name is Pauline. You'll see her in a little while. But you'll see the post. But the point is, folks, but I keep bringing people on to educate our communities. Because someone told me, a friend of mine said to me, she said, well, sometimes we don't know. And I told her, well, they know, but they're not telling you. So it's up to me and people like me to educate you. Tuesdays with Terrence is what I do. Tuesdays with Terrence is my brand. Tuesdays with Terrence is my love, is my baby. So when someone come and ask me, when someone become a Facebook friend and they ask me what I do for work, I smile and I shake my head. You kidding me? Every day I'm posting. I'm probably posting 50 different things. I may put a little humor in there, but I'm always talking about what we do. But a lot of y'all, all you do is you look for my fine picture with my sexy face and body, and you like the picture. You don't even read the content. The reason I don't do a lot of videos because I want you to read, because they say we don't read. If you want to keep something from us, put it in a book. We need to start reading. You can like and comment. I'm being a little vain right now. Yes, you can like and comment, but read the content. Well, maybe I need to start doing TikTok videos for 2 minutes or less, and videos for you guys talking about income protection, debt elimination, legacy creation. I'll do it because I love the camera. I'm going to start doing it pretty soon. I hired someone to do it, but we haven't got to start doing it yet. Folks, don't let tomorrow come by and you don't change your circle. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? I don't know what it is, folks. Some of you guys, have done it, and I'm very proud of you. And some of you are procrastinating. But you know what? When you're ready, we'll be here. But please don't call me when you have a critical or chronic illness or critical or chronic injury or you're terminally ill. It's just too late. And I get the calls all the time. People have every excuse in the book not to meet with me for an hour. But they watch Netflix for 2 hours. The ball game, my Patriots was 4 hours and they lost to Miami. Mr. Stewart's watching. Bowie State won and Dallas Cowboys won, so he was happy as a lark, But the company that cares, American Classic Agency, we're hiring. Monique Bidleman, she told you what she does for work, but she does this part-time. She's been doing this for a while, since 2003, and she's killing it, helping families. We are looking to hire. As a matter of fact, next Monday, we're going to have a virtual and in-person recruiting. If any of you are interested in doing this, and don't tell me you can't, as long as you live in the continental United States, we can get you with our agency, the company that cares. So listen to me. Don't let too late be your cry. We got 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Doggy Fresh, you're on. 6 minutes for the rest of your life. What is it going to be, folks? That's what I do. And some of you think that am I here? I'm begging. I'm not begging nobody. As a matter of fact, I turn down clients. As a matter of fact, I leave a lot of business on the table because I ain't chasing none of y'all. I call you, we talk and you're not returning my calls. I move on. Some will, some may, some won't. Next. I'm always looking for the next person to help. There's families out there who need my help. I'm going to have an appointment right after this. And I'm going to talk to someone and educate them about what they need to do, protect their retirement and their families. But debt is a financial cancer. She talked about that. Good evening, Mr. Alvin Vassar. Good to see you. And all the others who are watching tonight. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Little Boy. If you're from Point Michel, La Pointe in the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Luku Boy. Dominica, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Whitey Kumuli, tall is her body. On the 3rd of November, we'll be celebrating our 45th year of independence from Great Britain. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. My sunshine came today and my sunshine's gone. But I'm still here to tell you in 3 minutes, folks, let's change. Let's change. Let's change. Let's change our mindset. Paradigm shift. Folks, if you get what you can afford, and as soon as you get a raise, you get more. Let me tell you, someone told me who's watching tonight, thank you, because you have educated me to make changes for my family. And this person right now is doing this as well. They said to me, you never asked me, do I need insurance? They said to me, you never asked me if I want to come on board. And I didn't. But now I feel guilty. They're on board. They're doing this. They're doing great things. They have something good coming up this week by God's grace. But the important thing is this: income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation is it. And as I close, folks, we just celebrated the Creole season in Dominica. Let me turn this on for you guys, right?
Connected to
and people were watching all kinds of acts. They had reggae, zouk, kumpa, bouillon, cardas, all kinds. As I close the show tonight, music has influenced my life. And the only medicine you need after you solidify your foundation, and Monique told you that, when you solidify your foundation, everything has a foundation: a building, your investments, your savings, your home, everything. Where you work, music is the only medicine you need after you've solidified it. And it goes like this as we close. Good night, everybody. Tuesdays with Terrence, like and share. Good night. Bonne nuit. Adios. Aloha. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Sous-classé, ça médicament nourri. Sous-classé, ça médicament nourri.
Sukla. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night. Good night, good night. Like and share. Bye-bye.
Sous-classé, ça médicament nourri. Sous-classé, ça médicament nourri.
All right, that's it. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Like and share. Maybe someone you know needs our help and we'll be able to help them. But whatever you do, make sure you tell somebody they need income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. I have a client right now, so I got to go. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. It's 9 o'clock. Woo! God bless. Bless you. Voulez-vous danser? Musique là, belle, musique là, doux. Be comme ça, belle musique. Aïe, aïe, aïe. I gotta go, I gotta go. Good night, good night. Bye bye, I gotta go, I got an appointment. Comme ça. Tuesdays with Terrence. Good night.
Sous-classé, ça me dit comment Monique.